when we collect data, we want to make sure that we ask questions that are not biased. Questions that are biased may include things like questions that are too wordy or that ask about multiple topics. Questions that use strong words that evoke certain emotions from people. We want to make sure we avoid those. We want to make sure that we don't encourage responses and different things like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at these 3 example questions and see if we can explain whether they're biased or not. And then if they are biased, maybe we'll suggest a way to improve the question. So I may not write down everything that I say in this, so make sure you're listening closely, or check my notes online. I'll have my written explanations online for you. So first question that comes up as a potential question is, do you agree that cats are better than dogs? And regardless of your opinion of that question, I think that this question is definitely going to be a little biased. And my reason being is because it seems like we're encouraging an opinion right here. Do you agree that cats are better than dogs? Is maybe making people want to agree with us and say yes, whether they think that or not. So I'd say this question is definitely biased, and a potential way to improve this question is maybe just remove something like that part and just say something like, do you prefer cats or dogs? Or do you like cats or dogs better? Basically get rid of that phrase that's going to make people want to answer potentially a certain way. Okay. Question 2. Do you prefer Star Trek or Star Wars? To me, I'd say this question is unbiased. It's not leaning people or leading people to answer a certain question. So I'd say this question is definitely, in my opinion, unbiased. Now, the only thing you may argue for, and I guess you could argue that this is biased, maybe you would want to, just as a way to improve it, also say maybe neither. Maybe people don't like either one. And so if you want, I don't think this question is biased, but if you did want to include that part, that may maybe still improve the question, even though I don't think that's very biased. Okay. And then question 3, or example 3, we'll take a look at here. Should zoos release the animals that they imprison? This time, that last word right there is what's really getting to me. That word imprison is definitely a strong word. It's causing... it could potentially cause strong reactions from people. And so I'd say, based on including that word, I'd say that this question is a little biased. Okay. And a way to improve that, again, remove that word from the problem. Just maybe ask something like, sort of rewording it a bit, but maybe say, do you think or feel that society should have zoos? Just leave it like that. Leave it open-ended. Don't include any of those strong words in there that may make people lean one way or another when they answer your questions. Okay? And then let's see. Let's take a look at one more thing down here. Not really about bias, although it's along the same lines. When we're running an experiment, one thing we want to do is we want to make sure that our samples are random and representative of the entire population. So let's take a look at what's happened in this scenario down here. It looks like we've asked a survey and see what the problem is and why this sample may in fact not be random. So our scenario is, to help determine whether schools should require a 4th year of math, 50 AP Calculus students were surveyed. And so I think right there is going to be the problem, because that's not really random. If you think about those 50 students that have been asked, generally I would think 50 AP Calculus students are probably students that are either in their 4th year of math, or at least students who very much enjoy math or are good at math, they like math. And so their opinion's probably a little bit skewed towards thinking that, yeah, a 4th year should be required, because they're probably in a 4th year and they like math. That may not be representative of the entire community. Possibly a better way to ask this question is just ask 50 math students, 50 random math students. Maybe ask a few freshmen, ask a few sophomores, but definitely you want to randomize that. You don't want to ask all students from the same class, especially a calc class, because that could definitely skew or bias your results.